So talk to WonderCon a little bit. What has been the reaction so far? What have you been hearing from people seeing some of the early screeners?
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, I mean, a lot of excitement. And there's a lot of people who actually know Charlaine Harris's stories.
Huge fans.
Yeah, huge fans here. And they will often ask about scenes that they've read about. So to a certain extent, it's nice to come to a friendly crowd that's already anticipating what we've been doing.
Yeah, it feels like they're on our side, which is nice.
Yep.
What have you thought of the footage so far?
Well, I was watching some of it on the train ride here, and it's sometimes I jumped or screamed, and he has this really brutal moment in episode 6, and I screamed. I was just like, oh God. So there's a lot of that, a lot of noises, you have that to look forward to.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think the great thing about it looks great, and it's all those things you want, but it also has a real sense of humor, right? I was really,
quirky.
It's actually fun and funny show.
Now, if people don't know about your characters, briefly tell me about your character and how are they involved in this world of Midnight Texas?
I play Olivia Charity. She's an assassin, and she's in a hot and steamy relationship with this guy.
Oh my! Okay.
And this guy is Lemuel Bridger, who is the resident town vampire. And he has the distinct characteristics of having blue eyes, and he doesn't have to feed on people's blood. So he actually is an energy-sucking vampire when he chooses.
It's called leeching.
It's called leeching, and that's part of our relationship.
He leeches the pain and anger out of me when it gets unbearable, and in turn it gives him energy to survive.
So that sounds mutually beneficial.
It's very intimate.
I like it.
How was it filming those kind of scenes?
I like
Hot.
I like that. All right, cool. Does the show, I mean, vampire automatically, people generally think sexy. How did you like?
That's cool.
Yeah, vampires are generally sexy, it's lust and it's power. How do you like this incarnation, this version of vampire?
Well,
I like it.
thank God. You know what's great about it, I think, is that this is about this vampire has relationships. This is about a vampire living in a community. So it's a really unusual, and that's the great thing about the town. There's an unusual collection of beings, creatures, outsiders who have found a way to live together, and then in turn, through their efforts, are able to turn around and help others. So it's not just a vampire story, it's about community.
What would you tell people, why should they tune in to Midnight Texas?
Watch the show, please.
Because it's probably one of the most fun, inclusive shows. The relationships are diverse. It has sort of several layers to the stories, and Arielle Kebbel's in it.
Ooh, I love that one. No, honestly, people laugh at me, but sometimes I compare it to Friends because there's the couples. So we've got the supernatural element and we've got the kooky town element. But another great thing about the show is these couples and their relationships. And I felt like every episode that I read, I understood that couple, and I was like, oh, I've been there before, or I'm rooting for you, and I feel like every time I watch Friends, whatever couple, whether it was Phoebe or Rachel or Monica, I was rooting for them at a different episode, and I feel like as the season goes on, you really root for these couples, and there's deep, deep love and compassion there, and I think that's unusual for a supernatural show, and I think it's really important.
There you go.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Looking forward to it.
Thanks.
Sounds really
Thank you.
fun.
Good to see you again.